Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Reporting live from Yonkers, New York. Coming at you, Nothing But Love podcast. I go by the name of Money Mike.
Go by Mainovent.
And today we got the extraordinaire Dave Shu, party promoter, in the building.
Thank you.
So Dave, we gonna dive right into it, right? So tell the viewers where you from, like a little bit of your background.
I'm from 225th in Laconia.
Okay, in the Bronx.
In the Bronx, yeah. That's the Edenmore section.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
What hospital?
I was born in Booth Memorial Hospital in Queens. At that time, it was called Booth Memorial. You gotta understand, I'm almost 60 years old, so it was called that. I think it's called something else now. It's still there. It's still there, but I don't know the name of it now.
Queens. So you were just born there?
I'm born there, but I was raised on 225th in Laconia.
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
Got you. So, wow. Damn, we going back because me and Dave is from like the same area. I'm from Edenmore Projects.
Right.
You right there and stuff like that. So, what, you went to 112?
No, I went to Catholic school.
Oh, really? Which one?
I went to Our Lady of Grace. I got put out of Our Lady of Grace. Went to St. Philip's and James. Got put out of St. Philip's and James. And then I went to PS 78 on Boston Road.
So wait.
What grade was that? Like 7?
6.
6. Okay.
So we gonna go back for the viewers because this is for our Bronx people, uptown. Our Lady of Grace was a big deal back in the days.
Yes,
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
That was a big.
Me, Latique, and Cedro, all of us went to school together.
Like, if your parents had money to send you there, that was a big deal back then, right?
But yeah, but I was raised by my grandparents. They raised me.
Well, yeah. they had a couple of dollars.
Yeah, they were middle class people.
Yeah,
my grandfather,
they were doing good.
He was
Catholic
a motor
school
man.
back then.
Yeah, my grandfather was a motor man.
You had to pay for that.
And she was a school teacher.
And then you say Philip and James is on Boston Road.
On Boston Road.
Shout out to everybody from Boston Road, man.
Yeah, Wise and all that.
Yeah. So St. Philip and James. So what grade you went there?
I went there. I got put out of Our Lady of Grace, maybe the 4th grade. I went there for 5th grade.
So wait a second.
And then I got put out of there and went to 78.
How you put out? You was fighting?
A lot of fights, yeah.
A lot of fights
as a kid.
You very violent.
I was a little pretty boy, so they,
I was. You pretty boy.
I got the curly hair back then.
Oh yeah, the curly hair.
Back then. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you went to St. Philip and James on Boston Road, and then what was the next one?
PS 78 on Boston Road.
Boston Road.
Yeah, Boston Road.
Okay, Boston Road.
Yeah, so I came around with a lot of.
So you know the Boston Road dudes.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
There was only me, Georgie. I can mention names on there.
Yeah.
Me, Georgie, and Uptown.
Okay.
And my man Todd, we was the only ones that were able to hustle on Boston Road.
Okay, yeah.
Only us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
To my Kobe brother Todd.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yes.
So
that's my cool right there.
Right. It's my family too.
Oh yeah.
Kobe married to my cousin.
Kim.
Yeah, it's my cousin.
So you family to Sylvia.
yes.
For your family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Lindsay.
Yeah.
Jana, all of them. Yeah, that's all family. Yeah.
All right.
Small world, people.
Yeah,
Small world.
Yeah,
Small world.
Right, man.
Reminiscing right here.
Yeah.
So, junior high school, where was that at?
Junior high school, I went to. They sent me up to into Westchester. It was called Westchester Area School. That was a 7-day event at school. And then they pushed.
What town was that?
That's in North Shore.
Oh, North Shore. Okay.
That's in North Shore, and they pushed me out of there.
Okay.
And then from there, I went to a school called Talentine on Fordham Road. It's no longer a school.
Okay, Talentine. I remember that. I heard that.
Right. Yeah. And then they put me out of Talentine, and then I went to Truman. They put me out of Truman. I went to EV, and then my last school is Westside High in Harlem.
Okay, Harlem.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got like a lot of friends. You moved around.
I moved around a lot.
Okay.
When a lot of dudes were stagnated, didn't go nowhere. I ain't had no problem going to Brooklyn. I had no problem going to Harlem, and I ain't had no problem. I didn't have that. You know, so when you put yourself in the mix, that you got problems.
So take us back in time. High school.
Rough.
What was one of the happening party spots, or was it more house parties back then?
You talking about high school? First year of high school is 1981. I would say 81.
Right. Any party spots or uptown? So,
I would say. Well,
so what was happening with Stardust back in your time?
I used to go to Stardust and the T Connection and Emma's Place.
Mm-hmm.
Emma's Place was right downstairs at T Connection. After T Connection was over, you would go downstairs, and that's what it was at. You would do things down there.
Where was T Connection at?
On Gun Hill Road, where you see it says Lucille Roberts. That was
Lucille.
The T. Yeah, that was
Really?
the T Connection, owned by Richie T.
Okay.
Yeah, not Richie T from Boston Road.
Right.
Richie T from downtown.
Right.
That was owned by him.
So what age was you going to Stardust? That was like later?
I was about 14 years old.
14 years old, Stardust.
Me, Wise, all of us, Todd, all of us. We was all in Stardust.
Wow, Stardust Ballroom. That was a big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
What about Boston Road Ballroom? That came later? Or what?
Boston Road Ballroom's downtown. It's not this Boston Road. It's not our uptown Boston
Right.
Road.
That's like
that's 160 something street.
right.
That's
right.
down
right.
there. That's
yeah,
down
Southern
that way.
Boulevard, like going
That's
down
that,
more.
yeah, that's down.
Okay.
It's on Boston Road, but it's downtown. It's further
So
downtown.
that came later, or that was
that's
around the
that-
same time?
No, that was open. Yeah, that
All
was
same
open.
time.
Yeah, that was around time.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. So boom, after high school, how's life? What's going on?
Ah man, after high school, what's life?
Right.
Well, during that time, high school, like I said, I was always into some shit, getting into some shit.
Okay.
And so just from a very early age, I jumped off the porch about 13.
Okay.
And then I started selling drugs on the project with my man as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know if you remember Fat Tommy and Black Lanza.
Okay.
Those were dudes that,
Right.
opened me up to the street and stuff
Right.
like that. And yeah, brother, the street is the street.
Right.
Back then, it's a little different. It's a
It
little-
is what
it's
it
a little
is.
different back
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
man. It's-
But outside is outside.
Outside is outside, but it ain't like now.
Okay.
It's everybody claim that you can't compare back the 80s, late
Yeah, yeah,
79
yeah.
to you cannot compare. It's not the same, bro.
Yeah, it's
the
different.
money ain't even the same.
Right.
It's totally different.
Okay.
And then about 19 years old, I got caught up in the dunya. That thing came out, and I always try to talk to dudes, younger dudes that don't understand is that when you selling drugs, man, back then in the 80s, it wasn't nothing to open up a bill and start sniffing in front of everybody in the club. Niggas did that because niggas was getting money.
Absolutely.
You understand? Right? Niggas was getting money. You can ask your cousin.
Yeah,
Niggas was
that was a
getting
common
money.
thing back then.
That's
It
common
wasn't
thing.
frowned upon.
Smoking dud, all that. It was never frowned upon.
No.
And listen to me. Even freebasing, which is crack now.
Right.
But it was more so woolly too.
Right, you
It is the woolly
could
shit.
do that all in the
Yeah.
could do that all in the disco fever, and you go in the back of the back room, you set up and all that. None of that was frowned upon until the devastation that it caused to families.
The crack era.
All right, the crack era. Crack era really fucked everybody up.
Absolutely.
Right.
If you fucked with it and you wasn't strong enough, you
And the crack era was
was over.
85,
88,
86.
85, 86, but they were freebasing before that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were freebasing before that.
Sniffing and all
I did not sniffing. Niggas always been
sniffing?
sniffing.
Okay.
They always niggas always sniffing.
Right.
But they were freebasing.
Right,
And
right.
that's what they had the long off the on your hanger.
Yeah.
Boom, and they might have a cotton on it, dip it in some rum, and that's what
Okay.
they doing. So I got caught up in that in like about 18 and a half, 19.
Okay.
And then about so that went on for about 9 years. So
Okay.
when people say so, I said, nigga, I wasn't around. I wasn't in touch.
Okay.
So about to 94, I got myself together, and I got 30 years off of fucking with anything. I don't drink. That's when people see me. I don't drink. That's when I don't
Okay.
drink. I don't
You
fuck
don't
around. I don't smoke.
Gotcha.
I don't do nothing. You know what I mean? I enjoy life the way it is, and I enjoy giving people entertainment and parties. That's what I like doing. Because when I was a kid, when I was in the street, I forgot
Yeah.
to tell you,
Yeah.
Todd to tell you, I used to DJ. I had DJ equipment, all that
Oh, so
shit.
you was a DJ?
Yeah, I called myself Little Flash as a kid.
Little Flash, okay.
Little Flash.
From
All
Grandmaster
of us,
DJ
man.
Flash?
From
DJ
Grandmaster
Little Flash.
Flash,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
I
okay.
was, people like, get off that nigga. So
Yeah.
it was like
DJ Flash.
DJ Little Flash when I was
Little
a kid.
Flash.
When I was a kid.
Did you ever like run into like Cool Herc back in the days? Like,
Yeah, Cool Herc lived
like,
on
go to the
Boston
parties
Road
and
for
stuff?
a little bit of time.
Block
yeah.
parties and all that?
Yeah, he's a Herculoids.
You
absolutely.
was really more cool with what's the DJ dude from Boston Road? On Needham. What's his name again?
Breakout.
Breakout. Yeah.
That's my man.
Okay.
He's
yeah,
my
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
My man to this day.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the Gods and Earth was heavy back then too. in the
I was
80s.
God body.
Okay, and
Yeah,
what was
I
your name?
God body. Daheem.
Daheem, peace.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay. So now where should we go? Where should we go, man? You want to dip in?
Okay, so you 18, 19. You
Got
out of
caught.
high school?
Out of high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then when did you start realizing that you wanted to be in entertainment or like parties or
That happened like
After
in
DJing.
90, I would say about 95.
Okay, so we jumping from 80, what's that, 80? Because you was 19
And I was 19 in 1986.
okay. All right. So then,
87, I was 20 because I had got married.
Okay, all
My
right,
first
so-
marriage is in 87.
okay,
Right.
so then 90 and then you started getting into the music and all this that.
At 95, I started getting into the music. But how I got into that is that there used to be a show that came on and called Entertainment Vibes with Sex Boogie. Remember that?
No.
You don't remember that? It used to come on Channel 68. It was on the Bronx Network.
Okay.
And I would see Gator and Dow Hicks, Black and Gold.
Okay.
Shout
Now-
out to Gator.
Yeah.
remember
The
him.
original Gator.
Yeah, I remember him.
Dwayne.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember back in the
Dwayne.
days.
And then
Now what year is this now?
shit,
About-
95.
yeah, 95.
95.
Oh, when you came back
95.
on the scene. You said you come back on the scene 94,
94, 95, yeah.
So you see that, you see them.
I
okay,
see that
got
late at
you.
night watching TV, and I'm like,
Got
yo, I
you.
could do that.
So
I
now,
want to do that.
So now at the time is Gator and Black and Gold.
It's Gator and Black and Gold, and prior to Gator, Black and Gold was Sparkle Entertainment.
Sparkle, I heard of Sparkle. Remember?
Sparkle Entertainment. The kid Peter Shoo used to give parties.
Okay.
And
stuff
for the
like
view,
that.
and for the viewers, these are promoters, right?
These are promoters,
Okay,
yeah.
Yes, yes.
These are
Sparkle,
promoters.
what you call it? Big Three talked about. Remember what's his name? Say he looked up to Sparkle.
Yeah,
Cornell?
I remember that.
No, it was Shark.
Yeah, Shark.
Looked
yeah.
up to
remember that.
Sparkle.
Well, you got to
So,
remember,
touch on that.
Cornell and them is part of the Final Four.
Right.
That's what they are.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But Shark is actually, because I think Sparkle's, they're from Harlem, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so Shark is from, being that he's from Harlem, he said he looked up to Sparkle and stuff like that.
They was doing it
on
big,
that
man.
episode.
They
Yeah,
was
he
doing it
talked about
big.
it. He talked about
They
it.
was doing it big.
Yeah, he talked
Tapping
about it.
on the green.
Yes,
stuff
yes.
like
He
that.
talked about it.
Exactly.
Yes,
They was doing
yes.
it big. And I didn't even see the full show, but I could tell you that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because those are people like I admire and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha.
But what really got me into that is watching Gator Productions
Gator.
and Black and Gold Product Al Hicks. And
No,
them.
Gator was big.
Yeah.
So
was
that's
it.
95, right around
That's
that time.
95.
And so you say you sit in the crib and you say, yo, I could do that.
Yeah.
So
what-
now,
ahead.
what made you feel like you could do that? Like,
Because
what
I'm a
put you-
people person.
Okay,
And I know,
and-
like Mike
and
said
you
in
was
the
fly,
beginning of the show.
right?
Yeah, I
You
stay
gotta tell the
fly.
people that?
Yeah, I
All
used to. I just
Had all the chicks?
Right. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. You
Most
got me
Listen,
on there.
he said
I
he
didn't
had-
say that. He
He
said
said
that.
he said he had the good hair, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
man.
no, I went bald about 35. 35, I went bald. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but no, you got to be a people. In order to be a promoter, you got to be a people person.
Absolutely.
You got to deal with people
Yes.
that you really normally wouldn't
Absolutely.
deal with.
That's a fact.
So you have to deal
You
with
gotta
that.
get them to come out
And you got
and keep
yeah,
coming out.
Yeah, and got to politic with people.
Okay.
And
Yes.
I was doing that as a kid when I was doing what I thought I was doing back
Right.
then. You know, it's about politics. Even though
Yeah.
drugs sell itself, you still got to politic with the fiends because
Yeah.
the fiends is running you all the customers.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm trying to say to you? So.
Okay, so then you finally realized that you could do it. So when was your first gig? Like, when
My
was your
first
party?
guy started doing house parties.
Okay.
Right, I did a house party. I lived up on Rosewood Avenue, over there on White Plains Road. I had an apartment over there. I did a little 2 house parties in there.
What part is that on White Plains Road? Where's that like?
That's right across, right before you get to Burke Avenue.
Oh, okay. Got
Right.
you.
Yeah, I had
Got
an
you.
apartment. I did 2 house parties and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
My first DJ was Frank the cameraman. You know, camera dude that does all the pictures in the parties. Him.
Okay.
He's one of my DJs.
And that's a house party.
That's a house party.
With the red light?
With the red light,
There
all
you
that.
go. Red light. Mike
all
don't know
that.
about the red light.
Right.
Mike don't know about the.
There was a lot of parties in the 90s.
You know about the red
Right.
light, Mike?
Right.
There's a lot of house parties in the 90s.
But you gotta know about the red light though. Red light was crazy.
That's grinding.
We'll talk about that later.
That's
Yeah.
grinding and all that.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I did 2 house parties, and then from there I went to Claremont Center on Webster Avenue. I had Breakout DJ for me, Hollywood DJ for me, and those were clean and sober parties, right at that time. So there was no alcohol going on, and I found there, even though I like to support my people and stuff.
So wait, let's back this up. Now, what made you go to Webster? Because Webster was like a little rough back then.
Okay, I'm rough. All right.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Yeah,
I got you.
I'm a nice looking dude.
Yeah.
But you can ask those
Yeah,
dudes,
yeah.
when it come time, but that's nonsense. All I'm saying, it was the center, it was a space available, it was a
And you
big enough
took it.
space, and I took it, man.
Okay.
And I wasn't worried about all that other stuff. You know
Got
what
you,
I'm saying?
got you.
But and then after that, it was clean and sober parties, and then I found there was really no money into that. So my first time breaking out into alcohol,
Wait.
I went down.
And you said there was really no money. What was it, like $5 to get in or something like that?
I would charge like people $15 and stuff like that. to get in.
$15 for the
15.
center party?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to break out Hollywood. I got to pay these dudes.
You gotta
Now
You
the
know what I'm
liquor,
saying?
how did the liquor work? It wasn't no real like bottles. and
It
all that
wasn't
stuff,
no
like-
liquor in there.
Okay.
That was
That was
clean
just
sober
come to the party.
Okay,
come to the
sober
party.
party.
Sober party.
Okay,
I started with that.
Right.
And then I said, listen, they had March 2112. My first party
March
was
2112 was
I
fire.
went down to March
That was
2112. I
fire.
took a bunch
What
of.
year was
You
that?
been there before, Mike? March
Never
21?
went.
Yeah.
okay.
No March.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that
was
had to
fire.
be 96.
Man,
96, 97.
Because
Yeah,
that rocked
okay.
from 96 to like 2000 maybe, right? And then
So
it
that-
kind
yeah,
of fizzled out.
It fizzled out. They shut it down.
Yeah, okay.
They shut it down.
Right,
I can't say exactly what year they shut it down, but they shut it because after that I started moving around to the Supper Club, Roxy's,
Okay.
Lundy's, American Park Cafe, the boats. At that time, my first boat was a Paddle Queen, small boat,
Okay.
hold about 400 people.
Okay.
But I did like every major club in New York except for Roseland Ballroom and another club. I never did Roseland Ballroom. That's one.
What
of the
about the
clubs.
Roxy? Roxy
I
was a
did
big
the Roxy.
deal.
I tore the frame out of the Roxy's.
Okay.
3 times I did the Roxy, put about 2,500 people in there. You know, but you got to understand, you're having people sell tickets for you. It ain't Dave Shu just doing it.
Right.
You
It's
got
a
ticket
whole
sellers.
conglomerate.
Yeah,
You
conglomerate
gotta
thing, and then you're
together.
putting sub promoters down.
Yes.
It's just like hitting somebody. And
And the Palladium was banging too back then.
I never did the Palladium. No, that was on 14th Street. I never did the Palladium.
Okay.
But they got something brand new now that I heard called
Down there
Palladium.
now?
It's not down there. I
Webster
think
Hall?
Something is called a Palladium now. I never did Webster Hall neither.
Okay.
Man,
Webster Hall's kind of big.
yeah. They're not as big as that Roxy's.
Right.
Wasn't
Oh, yeah.
nothing
No,
as
no,
big.
no.
Only
Roxy-
thing that
Roxy was serious.
only thing that could compare to the Roxy was Roseland Ballroom.
Right. Roseland was serious.
Yeah, because you got to remember, you would just see in the Roxy, you would just see because it was a roller skating
Yeah,
rink.
yeah,
so
roller
you
skate.
would just see that. No,
Right.
it went further back.
Right.
It went further back, and most
Right.
people, you couldn't feel it. So they
Right.
didn't know that it went further back.
Right.
So you figured that just that roller skating ring and that section alone in the outside hold about 2,500 people. But he could have put at least 35 to 4,000 tight because the back opened up too.
Right. Right.
And so what was you charging around that time? to get
$20.
$20.
$20.
Okay.
Yeah, $20.
Yeah, that's
$20 a part, yeah, $20. Because at that time, you got to remember, it's in levels now. So I think my party's now 40.
okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I might do an early bird special, put out for 2-3 months, early bird special, let them pay $30. And once September 1st hit, you got to pay $40 for the ticket.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
Got you.
yeah.
And who was your not your favorite DJ, but who did you rock with the most in your parties? Like
Back then or back
in like the 90s, like you know.
And well, I had Stan Strong, God bless the dead. Stan Strong is a
From
family.
Busta Rhymes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stan Strong is a family member of mine.
Okay.
His child's mother is my first cousin.
Okay.
So
Good DJ.
Good DJ,
Okay.
beautiful
Yeah, Stan
DJ.
Strong.
Okay.
I
And
used
then
him.
I never heard of him.
but who
Yeah.
started me out, who really started me, that brought Dave Shu to light, was DJ Knuckles.
Knuckles. Okay.
Knuckles was
Okay.
nice. Knuckles was the
Is
nigga.
Knuckles from Harlem?
He's from Harlem.
I heard of DJ Knuckles.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
the-
dark-skinned dude.
Yeah, he was the
Yes.
dude.
Shout out to Knuckles.
Yeah, shout out to Knuckles. He was the dude.
R.I.P. Stan Strong.
Yeah, R.I.P. Stan Strong.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
He was more than just a DJ. He was
He
a
had
good
an
friend.
aneurysm, right? I think so.
I think it was
Heart attack,
cholesterol. He had a
aneurysm?
heart
Yeah,
attack,
Heart attack,
and he
something like
crashed
that, yes.
up
Yes,
there
yes,
in Mount
I remember
Vernon
that.
in front of the.
I used them. I had a party in White Plains. I used them. Shout out to E. Prez.
Yeah.
E. Prez was like, "Yo, book Stan Strong," and then me and Stan hit it off. We know the same people, Boston Road.
Oh, yeah.
And then me and him became friends like that.
Yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
dude.
Nah,
he
good
was a
dude.
good dude.
Stand
man.
up
Very
dude.
good dude.
Yes.
I think that's one of my best friends I ever had, man.
Really?
Yeah, because it's really hard when you in the street, brother.
Yeah.
It's so hard to detect the snake.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they come in
yeah,
all
yeah.
kinds of forms and
Forms,
fashions.
yes, especially back then.
Yeah, and yeah, like I told you, I've been off the porch since 13. So
Yeah.
you come up with a lot of dudes, and when money
Yeah.
gets involved, people
Yeah,
start
yeah,
to change.
yeah.
brother.
Snakes, and you got some good dudes that be like, "Yo, watch that dude."
Yeah.
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 You gotta appreciate
Yeah,
that.
he
type
was a
dude.
real good. He was a friend.
Okay.
I had to get all them signatures for that cake he signed
Yeah,
on for the person. Yeah, he's a real good
Okay.
friend.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when it came to organizing the party and setting it up, like how, like describe like your team, like what kind of team you had, females. guys?
Well, it's me, my wife, Stan. Stan was an intricate part of Dave Shu Entertainment.
Okay.
And then for me going to all the jams as a kid, you know, it just came naturally, man.
Okay.
What to do came naturally.
Okay.
And now, when Stan was alive, right before he died, I put his partner on Super C, and now Super C is like my best friend. You know,
Oh, Super
Stan,
C.
Super C. Oh yeah, Super
Oh, that's
C.
Stan's man.
That's Stan's man.
Really?
Yeah, that's Stan's man.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Stan's man. They
Shout
like
out to
this.
Super C.
Super C. That's my brother. That's my
Wow.
brother. That's my
Okay.
one of my best friends.
Yes, yes.
And he is a great big part of Dave Shu Entertainment.
Okay,
Great
okay.
big. I'm talking about his mind. You know, I don't want to get a secret away,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
his
yeah.
mind, his mind works, brother.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I met him at Barcelona Bites when I
Yeah,
was doing that.
yeah.
Good dude.
He got
dude.
good mind. Good
Yes,
mind.
yes.
Good businessman.
Okay.
So, and then my wife is my backbone. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So big shout out to Miss Shoo. I love you.
Shout out Miss Shoo.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, so she's a big. You know, you need that support, man.
Yes.
You need that support.
Yes. So let's back it up. How did the name Dave Shu come about?
Well, my barber.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him this credit. We're no longer friends, but I'm gonna give him Rich the barber
Rich the Barber from Edenwald?
from Edenmore
Okay. Rich was over there on Burke, right?
on Burke. He was on Arno. He
Okay.
was on Arno, and now he's
That's-
on Holland. Holland,
right.
Holland and Mace. That's where he's at now.
But was he on Burke any time or no?
No, that was Kenny. You thinking about Kenny and them on Burke Avenue? No.
Okay, gotcha.
No. He's a real good barber.
Right. Rich.
He was named Dame Dash Barber. Yeah, we come up together. We as kids.
Okay.
You know, we're no longer friends, but he gave me that name, Dave Shu.
So how did that come about? Like, how did he think of that? He just cut your hair and said
No. I always used to. I'm just getting into sneakers and all this in the last 10 years.
Oh, you used to always wear shoes.
Slacks and shoes, brother.
Oh, okay. So
that's where they got the number gates, brother.
Oh, Dave Shu.
Dave Shu. That's where they got that from. Yeah, Shu.
S-H-O-O.
Right, always wear shoes. So he used to say, look. Now, and I told homie when he came home how that came about.
Okay.
So I always would get gators and stuff like that. And then I said, Rich, I really want to get into this party. He said, do parties. He said, you should call your name Dave Shu, like the kid Peter Shu. Now, I don't know who Pete was.
At the time, when he told you.
Right. When he told me, because I was in the dunya for them 10 years.
Yeah.
So as them 10 years that Pete was rocking.
Yeah. You didn't know what's going on.
I didn't know who he was. I'm from Uptown.
Right.
And, you know, we Uptown. We a little hot strung on our. We don't keep. We ain't think about no other niggas. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So no, I didn't know who he was.
Okay.
So, but big shout out to him. I heard he did it real big.
Yes.
So, he gave me that name. He even created the logo with the piece, all that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Rich's mom. He was
shout out to Rich, man.
Big shout out to Rich.
Big shout out to Rich. Yeah. That's beef is over.
Man, that, I love him. I will say that.
Okay, that's
he don't fly straight, but I love him.
Okay, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, but he gave me that name.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Barber gave me that name.
That's dope.
In 1994, 95.
Okay.
95, yeah. So I've been running with it ever since. You know what I mean? And then you would get all that. Yo, Peter, your brother? Nah, I'm no relation to Pete.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So,
because I'm not gonna front that was a little confusing at the time. Like it was like mixed. Like people used to confuse like, well, is it Peter? But then no, Peter's in jail. Like,
right.
Stuff like that.
But he spells his name because he's really a Chinaman.
Right.
He's Black Chinese.
No, facts.
So his name is spelled Shue. I spell my name Shoo with the Shoo across the top, or the two O's.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's no, you know.
Okay, we clearing all that up.
Yeah, I have to. Because so many people, when he was in the penitentiary, fed him a bunch of bullshit.
Okay.
And he don't know, you know, he in jail. So he
he didn't know what the deal was.
He didn't know what the deal was, and then he trusting people. But like, you know, it's unfortunate that our people like a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say to you.
Okay.
So, and there's a lot of jealousy. The same thing they doing with this dude, Diddy. A lot of jealousy shit.
Right. Facts.
A lot of jealousy shit. You wish you had his money and you wish you could freak off.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's all I see.
Exactly.
That's all I see. Because there's no crime.
There's no crime.
There's freaking off going. It's freaking going on.
A lot of drugs involved.
A lot of drugs and free stuff, but there's no crime.
No crime. Not
psychedelics and all that.
Now the only thing that I will say, when he put his hands on a woman. Other than that, brother, ain't nothing else going. He ain't
domestic violence, but he wasn't charged with that.
Right. And that clip you see is 10 years old.
Yeah.
10 years old.
Facts.
So being that you got daughters now and all that, you're sympathetic to that.
Yes.
You don't put your hands on no woman.
That's
about it. And he done paid. I'm sure he's very remorseful for that.
He paid,
and then gave her 20
million.
And then the hotel gave her 10.
Yeah.
She's good.
She's good now.
Gucci.
She was pop.
Yeah, she had about 40,000 to her name before she did that.
You was pop with that trainer. That's why you did that.
Yeah, exactly.
We ain't gonna talk about that right now.
That little 40,000. You know what it's about.
Right.
So around that time, like, how was advertising? Like, how did you get your advertisement flyers on the radio?
The same thing. No radio, none of that. Just flyers. And at every party, anybody will tell you that's still around, they put the work in. After I leave here, I'm still going over to what's the joint on the Wednesdays and put my flyers in the car.
Playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do my own work, man. I do my own work. I do my own work, and you pay the people that pass out flyers. Not many people still around. You still have Steve Parker. Steve Parker still passes out flyers.
Steve is still around?
Still around. Just gave him 1,000 flyers the other night. Yeah.
Tell the people how important it is to put your work in.
You have to put your work
when you got a dream.
Well, that's your foundation.
Absolutely.
Because listen to me, nobody's gonna do it for you. You have to put. It's like anything else, brother.
Right.
You got to put the work in yourself.
Put that work in. Yeah.
You got to put it in yourself. Now,
to be on the front line.
Right, to be on the front line. I don't rely on social media, and I think I did radio one time. It's really too expensive. So for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not knocking anybody that does it, but I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? What I would do is probably rent a flex and then allow him to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
If I had something, and I had him a couple of times too. So it's important because this is how I feel. if it don't turn out right, I know that I did my all.
Yeah.
If I slacked and relied on social media to do it,
Right.
rather than be out there and go hand in hand, politic with the people, be at the most popular parties with those flyers and putting them in cars and putting them in people's hands when they come out the door, and I don't do that and it flops, I know that I ain't doing my best. I know I didn't do my all.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off of something you just said. So I felt, because I came in when I started doing parties, like 2009.
I used to see you at the Q Lounge.
So yeah, we gonna get to that for a second. But when I came in, I started doing parties at Club Body in Harlem, and Facebook just came out, and I had a little buzz on Facebook. Instagram wasn't even out yet.
They weren't.
And so everybody requesting everybody back then. And I had like a lot of pictures, old school pictures that people was into, like so they was following me. So that's one thing I wanted to say is I noticed when you're a party promoter, you gotta stay on top of social media with everybody who's on social media, because you can use it to your advantage.
Yes.
It cuts down the traffic time that you do in the street. You could do at home.
Absolutely.
But the key is you got to get the people.
Right.
If you don't get the people, it don't make no sense.
Right.
Now you got to do the foot traffic in the street. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that marketing tip, but get back to your story.
You're right.
Right.
You're right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Where we left off? I'm a little old.
Advertising.
Well, advertising is your biggest
and
thing.
Doing it yourself.
And doing it yourself, putting the flyers on the cars and stuff like that.
Where you
And
doing your flyers at? Tremont?
I do with Rudy. Yeah, with Rudy.
Tremont, right?
It's called Flyers R Us or something like that.
Yeah.
The color graphics.
Yeah.
Color graphics.
That's over there.
But he's
Yeah.
not on Tremont no more.
Oh, where's that now?
Yeah, he's in Jersey now. He has
Really?
like 3 locations in Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah. He
Okay.
left Tremont years ago.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, he left
okay.
Tremont
That's how
years
much.
ago. Yeah, but that's
Can't remember
why
last time I did
I've been dealing with him 20-something years.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
got you.
I've been with him, yeah.
Because remember, they used to sit down, work with you, do the flyer and all that.
Yeah. Big shout out to Carlos. That's where I met him at. Yeah, Carlos does my flyers still.
Okay, and how many flyers you get? You get 5,000?
I do 5,000 flyers on some events. Some events I do 10,000 flyers.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we got a big event coming up for the 30th anniversary.
Right.
So I did 10,000 flyers. Yeah.
So I know you old school. You like doing it that way. So do you find? So of course you got to say flyers definitely can't be extinct.
No,
You gotta do
You
that.
have to do them.
Got to do it.
You got to do them. Because it's a combination of everything.
Okay, right.
Your social
Together.
media, boom, you send
Yes.
it out every day. I'm putting
Yes.
it on Instagram every day,
Yes.
every day. Facebook, well, once you put it on Instagram, it'll
Then
automatically.
go to that party,
Yeah.
put it on the cars and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so
Right,
you want
right.
people, and then the main thing, like for me, ticket sellers.
Okay.
Okay.
Now let's get
That's
into
big
that.
right there, too.
I'm glad he
Yeah.
brought that up. So I'm really not a ticket dude. I'm a dude that I know certain crews that party. So certain women that party. I might know like 5 different women crews, 5 different dude crews. The dudes know I know the chicks. The chicks know I know the dudes that got the liquor and they don't mind coming to drink and all that. So as long as I get those crews out, they're gonna do a lot of work for me because they know people.
Yeah. They go word of
You
mouth.
know how certain people just gravitate to certain people.
Right.
Because before I did parties, people called me anyway, like, "Yo, Mike, where you at tonight?"
Right.
Before I did parties,
Because you're a popular guy. You got to be popular. I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you.
Yeah.
It don't
Facts.
work like
Yeah,
that.
popular is
Facts.
everything.
Yeah, it's everything.
That's
Yeah,
half the
yeah.
And the
battle.
way you present yourself.
Yeah,
People
that's
want to
it.
be around a fly dude or fly broad.
True story.
That's what they like. They
That's a
like
true
that.
story.
You're exciting.
Yes.
You get like I don't drink, but I keep the bottles around.
Right.
Come on over here.
Right. Come on over.
Yeah,
Come on over.
Come on over here. Come on over here. There you go. You want something, Shoo? Now I want that. Here you go.
So right now we're gonna take a break. We're gonna pay some bills, and this episode is sponsored by Dave Shu. Dave Shu. So right now we're gonna get into this is promotional use for Dave Shu only, and we're gonna get into Dave. Tell the viewers what you got going on coming up. Some of the events.
Well, August 2nd, I got the Shades of Blue, the original Shades of Blue meets the White Party, and that's going to be on a yacht.
Okay.
Leaving from 125th Street on August the 2nd.
Okay.
And that's going to be from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. because boat rides only last 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
And then
It's on the west side, right?
That's on the west side. West side off the
Right. Right there. Yeah.
Oh, you're right over 125th
Yeah,
Street on the west side.
Yeah.
Right. And then the next event is my 30th year anniversary. We're having it at Above the Heights. That's going to be my black event, my 30th year anniversary.
So when you say Above the Heights, that's that. Is that
The
new
Radio
hotel?
Hotel. Radio
The new
Hotel.
right? New.
Rooftop.
181st.
Rooftop.
181st
Yeah,
Street.
yeah.
500
Okay.
West 181st Street.
And that's an all black party.
All black party.
And what date is that?
September 27th.
Okay.
And how big is that spot? How much?
About
y'all hold?
1,500 people.
1,500
it's
people.
Yeah, Cornell and them did it. They just did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They do the joint every.
I've never
every
been there. I
other
heard
week.
about it.
They go there and then they go to La Marina. Every
Okay.
week.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
wow.
owned by
Okay.
the same.
Right.
Same people.
Yeah,
That's
good
why.
joint.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And they got like a sky deck where you can go out and you can like overlook the city and
It's
see.
just fly.
So
Mean.
So, and that's your 30th year anniversary.
30th year.
And who you doing it to? Shout out some of the people who you doing it with.
I'm doing it with my partner Troy Haywood and my man Weezy, PDG Weezy from Play the Game.
Yeah, Weezy.
Yeah, Weezy. Yeah,
Play
we
ball.
doing it
He used to play
together.
ball
And
back
then
in the
our entertainment for the night, we have a host of DJs. Remember, you have separate parts, so you have a main room and you have 2 balconies. So the main room is going to be Ty Boogie, Super C, DJ Legend, and Knuckles. Right?
Okay.
Then on the Harlem, it's called a Harlem balcony. You got Double J, Pop a Lot, and Smooth Ski.
Okay.
That's
Shout out to
gonna
Papa
be me.
Lot. Smooth skate.
Right.
See, baby.
Yeah, and Double J. Woo, that
Yeah.
nigga tore
Yeah.
that nigga. That brother tore down the
Okay.
last event on
That's
that
dope.
balcony.
That's dope.
Then we have another balcony. Crazy. We have Mike Major and DJ CJ.
And this is all in the hotel.
All in the hotel, man. Spot
Okay.
hold like 1,500 people.
And what's the name on that flyer? What surname for
It
that
says
event?
that event is the Black event. 30th year
just the
anniversary, Dave
Black
Shu
event.
30th event,
Gotcha.
Black event. And
Gotcha.
then Weezy's flyer says, it's his birthday flyer.
Oh, it's
Because
his
it's his
birthday.
birthday.
Oh, it's his birthday.
So it's going to
Okay.
be really crazy.
Got you.
You missed that white affair.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be at the Black affair though.
Yeah, but
All black.
I got y'all.
There you have
come
it.
on out. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cut and print.
Got my man Dave Shu and his out. So tell the people like who's been influential in your life that you want to shout out right now, like that's been really helped you get to where you are right now.
Well, one of the people is my man Whitey. He was from New Galaxy Enterprises.
Okay.
And his wife, Rashida, God bless the dead, Big Mama Entertainment. Remember, they used to do the strip shows and all that, and they used to do all the concerts and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then my man Boone, I started with him, Premier Entertainment.
Okay.
He was real big at one time, Premier Entertainment.
Okay.
And my man Mike B, he was my partner. Ed Papers, those were my partners at one time. And we're going to come back together and do the Dynasty again, because that was the name
Oh,
of
that
our
was all
crew.
the Dynasty.
Yeah, the Dynasty. Yeah,
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
D-Rob, God bless the dead,
Right,
Kenny
D-Rob.
Deacons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So those were people that were
Oh,
very...
Kenny has State 48.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came and got me, and I put the team together.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
dope.
whipped it out. We were
Okay.
down there for about 7 years.
Oh yeah, I remember that. State 48 was crazy.
Crazy. That's how I flexed.
He was the
down
guy.
there.
He was the
Yeah,
guy.
he was the
with
man.
Stage 48.
Yeah.
Everybody
Kenny-
had to go through him.
Kenny Dinkins. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
to go. You got to go through Kenny.
Yeah.
He's the plug.
Yeah, no, he was the plug for Stage
He's the
48.
plug.
That's a fact.
So these are guys that are all, they were big in my life, man. So I never gonna, there ain't no big eyes and little U's with me.
Okay.
Some people,
Gotcha.
Right.
some people get their head.
Right.
It's a party. That's all it is.
That's it. and then you have the promotion sponsored by Dave Shu. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Before I'm back at Nothing But Love podcast show with the infamous Dave Shu in the building. So this is the part 2. We're gonna dive right into it. So I got a couple of just regular questions. So Dave, you went to the Galaxy. Galaxy was what, 241st? Like that area?
You remember the Galaxy?
Come on, man. I was outside earlier.
Galaxy
Yeah.
was fire.
Yeah, it's Galaxy.
Galaxy was very-
241st,
very
White
dangerous.
Plains Road. Dangerous.
Very am I saying that right?
Dangerous.
Very
You saying it right.
dangerous.
Very
Oh, you remember the Galaxy? I forgot all about the Galaxy.
I'm gonna tell you who I went to Galaxy with. You remember Justice from 227?
Of course.
Justice, and I think Justice used to hang with Scientific, or was it Understanding?
Understanding.
It was Understanding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, those are some crazy times, man. Word. But Justice, that's my man. Justice was wild back then, but that's
Talking
my
about
man.
Justice from the wall, or you talking about Justice
no.
from up on White Plains Road?
Going up to 27th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justice.
Yeah.
Justice was,
And his
I think
brother,
black
him and his
thing,
brother?
Shaka.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justice is my guy though. Shaka too, but Justice is my guy. But yeah, the Galaxy. That's just a memory.
Yeah, I forgot all about it. Yeah, you know, we there when it opened up. So
No,
Boston Road and
all that.
Edenmore in there.
It was tough.
Eastchester in there. And you gotta remember until we got older, we had beef as kids.
Those areas didn't get along.
Yeah, we didn't get along.
Yeah.
Valley. Let me tell you something, homie.
Yeah.
Only niggas I was scared of
Yeah.
was Valley niggas.
Right.
It's about their business.
Yeah.
You could talk that private house shit all you want.
Yeah.
Them niggas was nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, back then. Yes.
Nothing.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on now.
Yeah.
But as
back
kids,
then.
nah, you got to see Edenmore would get it twisted sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm out the private house. Me, Fat Tommy, and Lanza.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They would get it twisted. And me and my man, Tardy, he ain't from Edenmore. We come in there and do, I'm more Edenmore than the Edenmore niggas.
Yeah.
So, but them niggas in the Valley, woo, they was the Wolf and all. Listen, that's my era.
Yes,
Wolf,
yes.
Gertie,
Yes.
Prince,
Yes.
Money Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, they wasn't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
fuck with them.
Yeah.
Baldy, you didn't want to fuck with them, man.
Yeah.
Get your head twisted.
Good times.
Yeah, good times.
Good times. So boom. So now you doing the parties. I guess we left off with you're moving around with all the parties. You do Roxy.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into a little bit when you went to Stage 48 and the reasons why you went to Stage 48.
It was at once Roseland closed down, Roxy's closed down. There was no other place that could hold the size of my crowd.
Okay.
Got to remember. So at that time, Kenny Dinkins called me. God bless the dead. That was Platinum Plus Productions.
Okay.
He called Nubian Gold. That was the name of Kenny. And then
Okay.
Platinum something he called himself too.
Okay.
But bottom line, Kenny Dinkins called me, and then I put E-Papers, Mike B, D-Rob, Big D-Rob from Corrections, put him down,
Okay.
and then we formed a crew called the Dynasty.
Oh, Dynasty. Okay.
Dynasty
That's how you formed
NYC.
that. Okay.
Right, we formed that.
From that. Okay.
Put it
Gotcha.
together. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because it really nobody ever really filled it. So once Kenny came and got us, he was already a promoter. He put his people in.
Okay.
Mike B put his people in. E-Papers put his people in. I put my people in. D-Rob had Correction niggas come. So it was, we
was
packed.
crazy.
One day we had the whole, one time for White Affair, before they had the restaurant up top, we did the whole building. So we put about 4,000 people, 3,500 people in that building.
That's a lot of people.
Top to bottom, it's a lot of people in and out.
So what would you say?
And big shout out to Big Buddha, because he's the one who brought from Atlanta daytime parties.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah, we talked about that
he
last
did
episode.
And I followed.
Okay.
I wait to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
I wait to see if Black and Gold was going to do it. They
Yeah.
did one. I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Boom, and that's what worked for me.
No,
the
that's a
day
fact.
parties.
The day parties.
The day parties,
Yes,
that's what
yes,
worked for me.
yes,
So big
yes.
shout out to Big Buddha. I remember
Big shout out to Big
he said,
Buddha.
you biking. I said, I ain't biking. Hey, this is a promoter thing, nigga. Everybody can do it.
Yo,
Yeah.
tell a crazy story. So, I'm cool with the whole crew, Bing, all of them, and Westchester ain't never do no day party. So I did a day party in Mount Vernon. It was a spot on Gramerton called 159.
Yeah, I know spot.
So
Across from the gym.
The Albanian dude had it at the time, and dude was like, "Yo, you should do a party for your birthday." I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna do a day party." So we called it a daytime party. So my man George, that was down with the party, was pumping. Yeah, this is the daytime boys, or whatever. And before I had a chance to tell him, like, "Nah, you can't do that."
They got that phone call.
He got the phone call from Bink.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Nah, I'll take care of it because me and Bink is cool." So it's a misunderstanding.
Right.
It was all good. They understood,
Right.
because I gave them their props. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
they the dudes.
They the original.
They the
of it.
dudes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And shout out to Bink. Word. You know what I mean? So, what would you say is your best party ever, as far as money wise?
March 2112.
Mars. That was
Mars. Retarded.
crazy. Okay.
Retarded. Because you got all the hustlers coming out. At that
Right.
time.
At that time.
Any
It's mo-
headliners?
yeah.
Any like rappers or?
Nah, I
like,
ain't doing
just
none of
always
that.
Just,
Oh, just
party.
Just
Party.
party.
Okay.
Hustling there.
Okay.
I just
Party
recently
DJ.
started.
And it
doing
was
that.
dope.
And it was dope. Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
Mars
niggas had
was
money
dope.
back then.
Yeah.
Right.
Niggas had, the money's not flowing around like it
Yeah,
used
like
to.
that.
Bottles
Right.
was heavy minimum, like
Yeah.
10, 15 bottles.
Yeah, niggas would do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but niggas
Right.
would do. Yeah, niggas would do
Okay.
that.
But you had certain dudes like like Turkey was pulling up to parties 30 bottles.
Oh, absolutely.
By itself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all
Back
day.
then.
Yeah, because
You know what I'm
money
saying?
was in the.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no money like that.
Right,
It's
right.
not
Right.
the way people portray it to be. It's not, bro.
Right.
It's not. It's
Facts.
really not.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, it's not.
But Mars hand down for you. You
Mars
remember it
is
like
the,
yesterday.
Mars is the shit. Mars, that money came. I don't even bring up an incident. I had an incident, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, that money, yo.
Yeah.
That money's
it's crazy.
there.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that money's there.
That's
They
dope.
were paid because you gotta remember, Midtown is Brooklyn niggas,
Yeah,
Queens
everything.
niggas,
Yeah, everything.
everybody,
Everything.
Jersey's
Yeah,
coming
everything.
when you do Midtown.
Yeah.
So you get niggas from all over
Yeah,
to come out. And
Okay.
niggas all over was
Yeah.
getting money
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
90s.
Yeah, coming
even all the way up to the early 2000s.
Yeah, 2000s.
Right.
Yes,
Still getting
True
bread.
story.
Absolutely.
True story.
You know, and they want to party. Black people want to party, brother. That's what
True
we
story.
do.
So you're older. You're older than me, of course.
58.
So are you opposed to working with younger promoters?
No, you need new blood.
Okay.
I'm not knocking nobody else. They don't want to mess with young dudes. I want to mess with mature younger people.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
That value their freedom.
Right.
Right.
All right?
Exactly.
All right?
That's
That
politically-
value their freedom.
that's politically correct.
That's the
Absolutely.
only way
Right.
I could say it. That value their freedom.
Right.
You're coming to have a good time.
Right.
You're not coming for anything else, man.
Right.
And you're
Facts.
willing to evolve.
And I'm
You
willing
gotta-
to evolve.
You got to evolve, especially
Right.
since you've been in the game this long.
Right.
You got to be able to.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
want the
Cultivate
young,
to
you
what's
want the
going on.
younger blood. Because look,
Absolutely.
so 58 to 60 as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
I'm 60. Well, I mean, how much longer niggas is going to really?
Right.
You know, they
Right.
might
Right.
another
Right.
5.
Yeah.
Another 5 years.
Right, right.
And I don't want to see a bunch of 65-year-olds. No
That's a
disrespect.
fact.
I just
yeah.
don't.
No, and no disrespect.
No disrespect.
Right,
I just
right.
don't. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Right,
I
absolutely.
want that younger blood. I want that stallion walking. I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
that coming
yeah,
in my
yeah.
parties.
Okay.
I don't want a bunch of 60. Not that you don't have no old. You
Yeah.
got older chicks that's bad.
look good. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
bad.
right.
Listen, my wife is bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Got it,
So
got it.
I want, you know what I'm saying? I don't look 60. So
Right, right.
you know what I mean? So I want that younger crowd. But like I said, mature.
Right.
Right.
I want somebody that values their freedom.
Right. So let's talk about the business side. So, compared to back in the days and now, do you feel that these clubs, restaurants, lounges are giving good deals?
Yeah, big shout out to the Edge, my man Greg. Oh yeah,
Okay. You feel?
oh
okay.
yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah. It's not many
Not
people
many?
do what he does.
Okay, got you.
Big shout out to the Edge.
Got you.
Yeah, and he had the garage prior to that.
And how important, because I find that a lot of promoters that's getting into the game now in the last 10 years, they really don't know what a good deal is.
Nah, they do a lot. I don't. I want to say this, and I want to say this not with a cockiness.
Okay.
But from what I see,
Right.
I think a lot of people do it for the fame more than the money.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm glad you touched on that.
Yeah.
I love how you put it.
Yeah.
Because what I was gonna say was, you know, you got different phases of this. So you got promoters that want to be able to say like, the spot is mine. They could be getting raped, not getting none of the ball, all types of crazy shit, right?
Ain't doing it.
But they want to be able to say like, that's my joint. But you getting jerked.
Jerks.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
So there's different levels. You got certain promoters that is just cool with just getting the spot, getting jerked, because he want to meet the women. It's like an outlet. You know what I'm saying?
That's clown shit, man.
They no. Listen, there's a lot of them out here.
I know that, but I can't say that.
That wanna get the notoriety of like, oh, I know everybody and meet women,
Right.
and getting jerked on the money side. Jerk, Jay jerk,
Exactly.
hard body.
More
right?
like you said, it's about the fame. They want to do
About
the
the
fame.
fame.
So is it safe to say like a standard good deal is bar,
And door.
door, and help with the DJ? Is that about right?
If you
or no?
if you're on a weekly, if you're doing a weekly.
Weekly, okay.
Remember, I don't do weeklies. I do
Right.
one-offs.
Okay,
I'm doing my parties every 3 months.
but it should be bar and door.
If you're doing a weekly, it should be bar and door
Okay, gotcha.
and help with the DJ.
Right.
Because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the reasons why I never got into weeklies, because weeklies are. One of the it's hard
Right.
to have a consistent crowd.
every week.
When you
You
see,
gotta have a good team.
right? You got to have a good team,
Right.
and the spot got to be popping as far as the drinks can't be watered down.
Right,
Right. The
everything,
drinks
yeah.
can't be watered down, and they have to be a reasonable price.
Yes, that
Right?
too. That
And
too.
you
Y'all
have-
hear that? Y'all
right.
heard what he just said?
Right.
A reasonable price. You owners, stop it.
Reasonable price, and you have to have a banging DJ.
Right.
You need to switch the DJs up. So I never got into that
Yeah.
because I know how hard that is. Now, if I'm doing a party every 2 to 3 months, people are like, "Yo, I'm getting dressed for Shoo. You buying that black shit? You buying that white shit?
Okay,
you buying
right,
that blue
'cause
shit?"
they know what
yeah,
it
so
is.
yeah, that's what I like to do. I'd rather do that. I stay away from the weekly joints.
Gotcha.
Big shout outs to those who could do it because it's a hard job. So big shout out to them.
Right.
Big shout out to Above the Heights, Abraham. Yeah, I wanted to shout him out. He gave me a great deal up there.
Gotcha. That's
Yeah,
what's
Big
up.
3 will tell you that.
It's about the deal.
Yeah, it's the deal.
It's about the
It's
deal. You
deal.
got to be about the business.
It's
the
the deal.
business is very important.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's not about a look. Some people do things. Like I said, they're doing it for a look. A lot of them are.
Yeah.
But again, eventually, they'll,
Right.
they're saying, "What the fuck am I doing this?" Eventually, it's gonna come
Eventually.
to that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna come to that. Yeah.
So I got a question. So how important is it to you to create a safe environment for your parties? Like make people feel comfortable. Like ain't nothing gonna happen. Good security. People get searched. They can be in there partying.
Right.
They ain't really got to worry about what their jewelry and all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is that like one of your top priorities to create a safe environment for your people?
That's number one.
Absolutely.
That's number one because you got dudes getting robbed in there. They get money. They want to be able to come in the spot and feel comfortable.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
To you?
All they want to do is shine for them.
Right. And even if they not in the street, give me say they're a regular Joe that like to put on jewelry.
Exactly.
Right? Because I consider myself a regular Joe
right,
now.
right.
Like to put on jewelry, whatever kind of jewelry they got on. Right?
Okay.
They want to feel comfortable. Also, they want to feel comfortable with their lady.
Absolutely.
They don't want to come. That's why I said I want a crowd, a younger crowd, even the older dudes. I want a crowd that people value their freedom.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. You can come in there, mess with somebody's woman, and lose your life.
Right.
That's a fact.
Or get into a fight.
And that's usually how people lose their life over a woman.
Yeah.
Most of the people
Yeah.
don't know if it's because a chick was involved.
You know that.
One way or the other. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to step in, so Maynard, to help answer your question. So, as a promoter, it's your responsibility to know who's in your party.
You can't know everybody.
You can't get caught up into the party. Some people are promoters. They caught up into the party, dancing, playing around.
Nah, you ain't supposed to.
Listen, when I was doing Barcelona, right? So it's 4 of us. I'm a person where if I don't know you, I'm gonna get to know you.
Who you did that with, Mike?
It was me, 914, Tall George. That's my
George, I
man.
remember George.
And Rima. Rima was on like 914's end.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Yeah.
from the Bronx.
Yeah,
like South
I know
Bronx.
Rima.
So, the South Bronx people, of course, that came through Rima and then 914, because 914 used to mess with Cat, Fat Cat. So, I got to know they crowd. Like, person buying bottles, it's nothing for me to go over there, because I'm a host.
Right.
That's
your
my job.
job.
Hey, what's up? What's up? I'm Money Mike. Boom, boom. Yo, I'm such and such. Oh, I can't because of 914. I can't because of Rima. I was asking people, how do you find out about Barcelona? Oh, through her, through him, whatever. That's my job. You got some dudes that's like a little cocky, like I'm not going over there. I don't know them. I'm staying with my circle. And then before you know it, something pop off. You ain't got no control.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So your job is to surveil the party, especially your people. You're supposed to have your people under control.
Right.
You could tell if the body language is off, sometimes, because you know your people.
Right.
If Marty come in there and I see Marty look like he about to do something crazy, because I'm keeping an eye out on all my people. Let me go over there and see because Marty look a little upset. You know what I'm saying? Let me go over there. Yo, Marty, you good? What's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's what you're supposed to do. That's your job, your responsibility as a promoter. So surveil the party, make sure the party's flowing good, make sure everybody got their drinks, and
Right.
that's your job.
Right.
Right?
It's a fact.
Right.
You
You
want
know
to
what I'm
ask
saying?
everybody
So I'm just
they
answering
okay.
your question
Right, yeah.
of that's a part of making a safe environment. Make sure everything flows good.
And
Put out fires
also-
early.
Right. And also have the bare minimum of having the security that checks people.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
kind of security I'm talking about. Like, because what you're saying is the street level, where it's like you know everybody, you tell them to boom. But I'm talking about a lot of these parties don't even have the right people at the door to even search people
That's
when
not
they
good.
coming in.
That's not
Well,
good.
that's
the
not
kind
good.
of that's the kind of security
That's
I'm
not
talking
good.
about. And a lot of promoters, they don't worry about that all they worried about is like getting the money or the fame,
Nah.
and then they got these people in there who wasn't properly searched, and then boom, something pop off. So that's what I meant. Like
That's how it used to be when we was kids.
you take that concern to really worry about the door people. You know what I mean? Because they're the most important people.
No,
But
you
I
have,
think-
you have rovers in the party. When you have a party with a lot of people, you have to have rovers in the party.
Absolutely.
Not that tunnel thing flashing. No, people walking around as gentlemen and making sure things.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want to make the people feel uncomfortable shining that light in their face.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Especially when you got a mature crowd.
Right. Right.
So, what would you say in all of the years that you've been doing? What are 2 do's and 2 don'ts, like that you can pull together?
Don't have less security.
Okay.
Right? Don't have less. That's the main thing.
Okay.
You know, my guy Troy Haywood is big on that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not less security. As far as securing your money, have the right people at the front door.
Right.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that's a
because
must.
there's thieves.
The
all
door,
over. There's thieves.
the door person's
There's thieves
a
all around,
must.
and that person has to have hospitality.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Can't have a nasty
Yeah,
door
have
girl.
a-
yeah.
nasty
Oh
That
my
door,
God.
yeah, that door person
A nasty
can't be,
door girl?
can't be disrespectful.
Oh,
or you
man.
ain't getting it out of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
name.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
said
yeah,
your
yeah.
name ain't on
No,
the list.
I don't have
Talking
change.
like
You
that.
you
man,
gotta get
I'm not
change.
going to call nobody.
And-
You call them.
Right.
You call them. That's not my job.
And-
oh man.
yeah,
you
and
know
you-
what?
and I've been to
hey, yo, where
parties
your
like
car
that.
at? I'll be waiting for you. Where your car at, yo?
Listen, I've been to parties like that.
Yeah,
you know, you just
nasty
got
door
to
girl,
get,
right?
gotta
Yeah,
get
yeah.
humble because I want to go in, so I ain't got.
I'll be ready to
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
you, yo, did I sleep with you last night or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Like, why you mad at me? Was it a bad experience? What's going on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
absolutely. That
Yes.
definitely plays a part, the door
Yes.
person.
Yes.
And whatever you put on the fly, you have to honor it.
Yeah.
That's
Give an example.
That's
Give an
a mo-
example.
Okay, so if I say sneakers is okay, and
It's
all of a
okay.
sudden I change my mind,
Oh, you definitely can't do that.
can't do
Yeah,
that.
You
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do
you
that.
can't do
Yeah.
And you have to be with our people, brother. You have to be specific.
Oh,
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can
facts.
wear white. This is an all white event,
Yeah.
but women could wear. Your belt could be red. Your bag could be red, and your accessories could be a different color.
Okay.
Right,
Right.
Now, when you don't put that on there,
Right.
it's an issue. Man.
Yeah, it'd be an issue.
It's
I
an
told you,
issue.
yeah.
You didn't say all white.
It's an issue. Yeah, you didn't say all white, right?
Right.
It's an issue. I had that
right.
last month
Okay.
in June. I said, man, come on, man. This is a white. You see everybody in here with white.
Right.
But I honored it because I saw where I messed up at.
Okay.
Right? So my
Okay.
thing is, I want you to come back,
Yeah.
but I want to let you know that you shouldn't be in with that on. But
Gotcha.
I'm going to let you come in because I didn't put it on the ticket like I should have.
Right.
And I'm going to let you come in. This way you'll come back and you don't want to, you need people, brother.
Right.
So you have to be as humble and nice to people
Right.
as possible.
Right.
Even
Right.
when you know they made a mistake. Come on, man.
Right.
Just come on in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Question. What's the best party? Top 2 parties you've been to in New York and where?
Oh, the Derby. Daytime Boys. Derby.
That's the best party you've been to.
One
in
of the
New
best
York?
parties. One of the
In
best
New
parties.
York.
You talking about what era though?
I don't care what era it was. What I said, what is the best party you've been to in New York City? New York.
In New
period.
York.
Yes. The best party you've been to, like
One of the best. One of the.
that shit
How
was
many?
crazy.
How
said
many
two.
parties? I
Two.
got
Two.
two.
Two best.
I'm putting 3. Mine's Roper Dopes and Daytime Boys.
There you go.
And Chrissy. That shit I just left last Sunday.
Okay.
Chrissy.
All right. So
That's 4. Sorry.
I'm gonna do 3. Club USA.
Okay.
Remember Club USA?
No, I don't.
Club USA was like on like in the 40s, like 47, 40 something.
What year?
This is like probably like 95, 96, 97.
I don't
somewhere
remember
in there.
that. Okay.
It had a slide in the club.
I heard about that.
A slide. You walk up. You could walk upstairs.
Right.
You can go upstairs, get your drink. There was people sliding down like the bumpy houses.
Yeah.
People sliding down to the first floor.
Imagine sliding down being fucked up.
I've never no, real talk. I've
Yeah.
never seen that in Atlanta. Like, I've been to a lot of places.
Right.
I've never seen that. Nowhere.
Right.
Forget New
Right.
York.
But I heard about that though.
Club,
I never.
Club USA was
yeah.
incredible.
Right.
That was the 90s. The next spot, I'm going to have to say Puff threw a party at
Hammerstein Ballroom.
at at Stereo.
Okay, I remember Stereo.
Stereo was crazy.
Right, it was across the street from, right in the block of
He had
Mars.
the
Right,
basketball players in there.
Right.
Or that shit was crazy.
right.
Number of celebrities all over the place.
Okay,
Everybody didn't make it in.
okay. I never got to get to one of his parties.
Everybody did not make it in. Like, I'm talking about like 1,000 people left outside.
But you know who they say he emulated on the party tip? He used to try to emulate Peter Shoo, they say.
Come here. I could go for that.
Yeah. And I've never been to neither one of their parties,
I could go for
but
that.
I've heard that numerous of times.
Peter Shoo, classy dude. He used to do a spot called Chaz and Wilson's. Same night
I
as
heard
the Tunnel.
Yeah.
That was like more of like a lounge. They treated it like a exclusive, invite only type of shit.
Yeah, he getting bread, man.
Yeah.
There's only certain people that made it in Chaz and Wilson's.
Yeah.
Like if niggas was getting handpicked to go in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and then he would have to okay it like, yo, Pete, you know him, he good, his man's good, like that type shit
Right.
was going
Yeah,
on.
well, hey, you gotta remember what he was dealing
I mean,
with.
but you got Madonna in there and all those type people in there. That was going on. And that was the same night as the Tunnel. In the very beginning of the Tunnel, I'm talking about like 94, when certain people didn't make it in the Tunnel.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
my brother used to play the Tunnel a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and let me see. One more incredible party. I want to say it would have to be between the Supper Club and the Roxy.
I used to do the Supper and the Rocks, yeah.
I'm gonna lean towards Supper Club. Supper Club.
Who
used
was
to be
there then?
incredible.
What promoter was there then? Because you know he had different promoters.
Supper Club. You had back then. You had Jessica, and she was just bringing in Paul Knotts.
Talking about the white girl, yeah.
Yeah, she was just bringing in Paul Knotts. And, yo, Supper Club was
Yeah,
incredible.
right, retarded, yeah.
Like
I heard about her
high
parties.
class chicks.
Wasn't Flex doing stuff with her at one point?
Tunnel.
Tunnel, right.
Yeah, the Tunnel.
Right.
Later, but Jessica was like, she just was a magnet for industry people.
Yeah.
Cause she knew all the industry people.
Yeah.
So it was just crazy. Like video chicks going to her parties.
Nice.
You know, like
Nice.
they straight out from the video.
Right.
Absolutely.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, you want to step in?
I would say mine would have been in New York. I would say Highline Ballroom, because that was such a dope mixed crowd.
Down
And-
towards 14th Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
That spot, I met some of the baddest chicks that I ever met in there. Like, I mean, beautiful,
Yeah.
Cuban, white, some from China. Like, it's just such a mixed crowd.
Right, right,
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I'm worldly like that. I like,
Right, right.
I
And
like
that's
different things.
Yeah.
So Highline Ballroom, and then I'm going to take it to Miami, Club Cameo.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Go Getter from Miami,
Right.
big promoter out there. Showed me wild love when I was out there. I've never seen a menu with bottle. I seen a bottle for $50,000. One bottle. I never seen that in my life. I was stuck when I seen that. One bottle, 50,000. And y'all can Google it, right? You can go right to
No, I believe it because I know what kind of money comes through my head.
You know, my word is Google Cameo and say, let me see that bottle list. They got bottles in there that are $50,000 for one bottle.
Okay.
So I'm like, this is crazy. They got confetti
Well,
coming out the ceiling.
Well, you know
the
what,
people
Mano?
dancing. It was
Mano,
beautiful.
you cheated. We said New York, but since you said Miami, I gotta put this on my list. Wolf did Billboard.
Billboard's fire. That
Billboard was
fire.
incredible.
We
4
was there.
levels.
Yeah, that was crazy.
4 levels.
Diddy came through that night.
And Wolf was charging $250 for VIP line. Like, it's moving. You get in there because I mean you got like 1,000 people out there.
Right.
But if you want to get in right away, $250. Come on, let's go.
Nice.
You go up the escalator, boom, you get in.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
He was charging people $250. Wolf.
The money was going
Shout out
on
to
back
Wolf,
then.
man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wolf. Yeah.
I want to do the rapid fire. Okay, so rapid fire is I ask you about a person, place, or thing, and you give me your answer, like what it means to you in 2 words or less.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with we're gonna go a little old school. Run DMC.
Fire.
Okay. LL Cool J.
Fire.
KRS-One.
Fire.
Okay, so my question to you would be, what was your best era? 80s, 90s,
80s. 80s.
80s.
80s.
Okay.
Early 80s.
Okay, and what would the older you now tell the younger you?
Go to school, man. Go to school and stop trying to be down.
Okay, and what's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant is your people's restaurant, Sylvia's.
Okay, and the last question, if you was to check out, God forbid, we don't want that to happen. You check out tomorrow. What would you want the people to remember you as or by?
Good guy.
Good guy. There you go. There you have it, Dave Shu in the building. Thank you. That's right, Mike.
So we gonna wrap it up. Another episode in the books. The infamous Dave Shu. Dave Shu, tell them about the parties one more time.
So we got August 2nd on a yacht. That's the original Shades of Blue meets the White Party, and that's August 2nd from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's Saturday. Then we have September 27th for my 30th year anniversary in the game at Above the Heights. That's 500 West 181st Street. And that's going to be, that's a mean lineup. You got to see the flyer.
And that's all black.
All black joint.
Okay.
And let the people know where they can reach you at on Instagram and Facebook.
You can reach me at Dave Shu ENT. You can call me at 347-865-1480. And the Instagram is the same thing.
Yeah, Dave Shu. Dave Shu. Yeah, on the Instagram.
Okay.
And I'm definitely going to be at the black party, for sure.
Me too.
I'm buying something fly, all black.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
And there you have it. NuttinButLuv with Dave Shu, sponsored by Dave Shu.
Big shout out to the engineer.
And
France.
Big shout out to France. We love you, baby. And we out.
Yes.
Peace.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. NuttinButLuv podcast. Episode sponsored by the infamous Dave Shu. It's NuttinButLuv.
NuttinButLuv, baby.
NuttinButLuv.
Episode 41 coming
41.
soon.
41.
In the book.